we're starting over. Equations and circle notes. Center radius form is a standard form you'll see of this equation out here to the right. In this center radius form is parentheses x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Everything has a meaning in the equation. The two new letters that you don't know yet, h and k. H comma k is a coordinate. This coordinate is for the center of your circle. So anytime you see h and k, they're talking about the center of your circle. And then the r, everybody should know what that stands for. Your radius. So in the formula, you got x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, your radius squared. This is center radius form. Another form you'll see your equations in is called general form. You won't see this till tomorrow though, but we will start some equations out in this form, and we'll have to take them to center radius form. Anytime you give your answer, you're going to give it in center radius form. But your equation can start in this form right here, general form. And you'll see that tomorrow. That's why I say it's important for you to bring it behind the school. General form, x squared plus y squared equals cx plus dy plus e equals 0. It's not going to mean anything to you today, but tomorrow it will. This is what we're focusing on right here today, center radius form. How to write a circle equation in center radius form. Alright, now here, writing circle equations. Directions says, given the information, write the equation of a circle in center radius form. And so we're going to do that for these four right here. I'm going to zoom in some. On this first one, they tell me my center is at 5, 3. That's good to know. I'm going to label that h and k. And they tell me my radius is 2. So I mean, I don't really have to label that. It's telling me my radius is 2. I'm good with that. From there, I'm going to plug into the center radius form equation. So in parentheses, I'm going to do x minus 5 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 2 squared. And then I need to clean that up. X minus 5 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 4. This is a center radius form equation for a center at 5, 3 and a radius of 2. The next one, labeling again my h and my k. My diameter is 18. What is my radius? Not everybody at once. Radius is 9. So pay attention to how I do this one. X minus sign is already in my formula. Parentheses -2, another parentheses squared. So I got x minus -2 squared plus on this side y minus +11 squared equals 9 squared. And then I need to clean this one up. X minus -2 becomes what? Not everybody at once again. X plus 2 squared plus y minus 11 squared equals 81. My hands in the way. No, I know. I just keep, since that was his excuse that day, I just keep throwing that out there at him. say he got testing. So next one, HK is my center. It's my radius of Reese. It's my radius, Reese. He's gonna let the girls tell you, man. Oh, okay. Pay attention on this one too. I'm showing you something different. So we got x minus 0 squared plus y minus 9 squared equals 16 squared. And while I'm thinking about it too, Vincent, you're going to have the same issues in this unit because you ain't going to want to write nothing down. If you don't change your mentality on that, you're going to struggle. X squared plus oh yeah, so here I ain't saying anything to you, but we would never write x minus 0, or we'll never write x plus 0. There's no need to. So if your h or your k is 0, we're just gonna make that x squared, or if it's the k that's 0, it's gonna be y squared. So x squared plus y minus 9 squared equals 256. Yes. What? You're gonna have to talk a little bit louder. Just talk louder. No, you're talking about for here? Nah, no need to. I'm only putting parentheses because we had two things we were either adding and subtracting together, and we were squaring both of them. It's just x at this point. You don't need a parentheses for that. Alright, next one. HK radius is square root of 47. X minus negative 4 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals square root of 47 squared. Oh, I put 42. 47 squared. Alright, let me slide over so y'all can see all that. Cleaning it up. X plus 4 squared plus, and then y squared equals, and then what's square root of 47 squared? Nope. Wrong. Who said it? What? 47. Thank you, sir. So our r squared in this case will be 47, which makes sense. Because if you think, well, in all these, that final thing I'm giving you is r squared. 81 is r squared, 256 is r squared, and 4 is r squared. So that means this is r squared too. So to get r, if this is r squared, I mean r squared equals 47. To get r, I would take square root, that will tell me r equals square root of 47. Because, I mean, if you look in your calculator and we got a long decimal, we don't write long decimals out for radiuses. That's where they get r squared is, that's where they get radius of square root of 47 from. If you're going in reverse, square it, you're going to drop the radical sign off, 47. That should not confuse y'all. Y'all should be good with that. Alright, so that's writing the equation. Let's go backwards. Let's start this thing off right. 1. Number 5. Give me my center and my radius by looking at that equation. Don't be scared, a little louder. It sounds like you're at the same volume, but I think I heard 5 and 1. Jamal, radius. What is this in the equation? No, in the equation, what does this represent? I'm too late now. What is this in the equation? This is radius squared, right? So what's my radius? Huh? Faith number 6. Center diameter. Say it louder. Thank you, Reese. -7, +2. Oh boy. I want to tell y'all, I want y'all to realize it. But most of y'all should pick up on the fact that, like he said, everything's going to be opposite of what you see in the equation. I don't like teaching it. I kind of like how to discover it for yourself. After that, what's the diameter? I'm still not done with you. Why would you? You gonna struggle on this, Faith? No, thank you, sir. Vincent, what you got? Say it louder. How'd you get that, Vincent? He said 36. Educate us. Square root of 324 is what? What is it? What number? Square root of 324 is 18. That's the radius. The diameter would be your radius times 2. Oh boy. We're struggling. Reason number 7. You got a calculator? And -1. Diameter. Give me radius first. How about that? That made life easier for us. Gotcha. Thank you. Radius will be 6.5. Diameter will be 13. I ain't bothered yet. Isaiah, number 8, center. Say it again. 6, -11. Okay. What's the radius? No. Huh? Nah, I don't want that. Say it loud. Thank you. Square root of 58. Once you see that decimal in your calculator, understand I don't want that. If it's a long decimal. Something like 6.5 we got on the last one will be fine. But some long run-on decimal, we don't want that. Flipping to the back. Right and circle equations continue. Given a graph. So if I give you a graph, you should be able to write an equation too. All you gotta do is pull your information off the graph and then write the equation. It's gonna be simple for y'all. It's only there one. on the graph here. Let's go with Armando. Armando, where's the center of the circle? I gave you a point of reference. It's 0, 0 right there. Say that one more time and try again. No. Yeah. Positive 3, negative 2. From there, you can count any direction you want. From your center, what's the radius? I guess I'm throwing that out there. Faith, go ahead. Huh? Oh, I ain't hear that. Y'all in here whispering, I can't hear that. Radius is 5. For those who don't know where we got that from, we went to the center of our circle. You can count to your right, you can count to your left, you can count up, you can count down. It really don't matter. Any way you're going to count, you're going to get 5 because it's a radius. Only way you might not want to count is slanted because that's going to be hard for you to count. But if you wanted to do Pythagorean theorem, you probably could count slanted and get it too. And actually you would, because you get 3 and then up 4. That's that 3, 4, 5 triangle we've been talking about. And you'll still get it if you did it that way, but you'd be wasting your time. Alright. So those two things we need, we can write our equation. Go ahead, Reese, write my equation for me. Tell me what to write down. Nope. I'm gonna write mine in negative, so I'm gonna show all my work. That's just me. Five squared. Yeah, the final answer should be just one sign. I'm just showing all my work like I expect y'all to do, because y'all not good yet. That's my expectation for Vincent too. Sliding on. Make sure you're paying attention on 10 and 11 too. If we ask you questions on the test, it's guaranteed gonna look like this and like the stuff y'all gonna see later this week. My son, silence. Center is at 9, 10. Point on the circle is at 7, 4. They want us to write an equation given a center and a point on the circle. And draw the situation out for you just so you can see it. Might help you understand a little bit better. I'm not the best circle drawer, so it's actually one of my better ones. So you got a center at 9, 10, and then you have a random point on your circle. I'm just placing this. I don't know if this is actually where it'll be yet. Called 7, 4. They gave us our center. The thing we're missing for the equation is our radius. So we would have to find that radius ourselves. Given what they've given us, we could find radius. I'm going to show you the short way to do it, and I'm also showing you another way. Whichever way you feel more comfortable with, you can do it. The short way, you got to be, to do it my way, you got to be good with your integers. You got to be tight on those. What I mean by integers, I mean by your positive and negative numbers. You got to know the difference between them. So, like, for example, let me throw this out here. How much space is in between 5 and negative 8? At 13. Some of y'all gonna say 3 because y'all just gonna go 5 minus 8 or something like that, which is gonna be a problem. If you don't know, it's gonna be an issue for y'all. Like, it's good when it's like this one gonna be easy because all the numbers are positive, but sometimes your numbers turn negative and positive. You got to get the gap between the numbers. If you can't do it this way, I'm gonna show you how to use the formula on the next one. I suggest you use the formula. All we're doing though is Pythagorean without a graph. Y'all been doing Pythagorean all year for me, but we just don't have no graph right here. Y'all see? So instead of trying to place these points on the graph and then drawing a triangle and all that, I'm going to show you how to do a Pythagorean without doing a graph. So basically, if we were to do this on the graph, imagine that we would draw a little triangle here, yeah? Just so we can get a count up and across. My count horizontally is my change in x. The reason I'm telling you that, look at your numbers for x. It went from 7 to 9. What's the change in x? Huh? 2, right? So if we were counting on the graph, we were counting over to the right 2 spaces. And then we would look at our change in y. Our change in y is from 4 to 10. 6. That same thing as us counting on the graph. It's just like we're not on the graph, so we can't count. I'm still doing Pythagorean. That being said, I got these 2 numbers. This will help me find my radius. Y'all follow what I'm doing? Alright. So now I'm doing 2 squared plus 6 squared equals, instead of c squared, since we know it's our radius, call it r squared. 2 squared is 4. 6 squared, 36. R squared. Add those together. 40 equals r squared. I told y'all. I think y'all be thinking I'm lying. I told you, no matter what, to the end of the year, you can't get away from Pythagorean theorem. It's the cornerstone of geometry. So when you get that, you should get an ugly decimal in your calculator. If that's the case, then we're going to leave it like this. R equals square root of 40. Alright, so now we have our center, 9, 10, which will be our H and our K. I'm labeling those now. And then we got our radius. So we're ready to write the equation. Out to the right here. X minus 9 squared plus y minus 10 squared equals square root of 40 squared. My bad. Then I wasn't showing you all that. And then from there, just clean it up. X minus 9 squared plus y minus 10 squared equals 40. Guess I'll box that. Sliding on. The next one, same situation. Like I said, I'm gonna just show it to you a little bit differently. Like I said, I'm scared that some of y'all gonna mess these integers up. Center is at 1, 5. Or 1, negative 5. Sorry, let me say it correctly. And then you got, once again, a point on your circle, somewhere on your circle, and that negative 7, negative 13. Using that, I can find radius, because from the center to any point on the circle, that's your radius. So that's why. But the thing about it is, these ones won't be on there straight, so you can't count vertically or horizontally. That's why we're doing Pythagorean, because these are slanted ones. And honestly, if they give you this situation, they're going to give you a point that you can't count. So neither your x or your y value will be the same. Alright. So you have to do Pythagorean on it. So like I said, we could do what I did on the last one, find the change in x or the change in y. Or if you're having trouble with your integers, you can take this route. It's a little bit longer, but it's going to take you to the same place. Let me show you back on the front, though, to help you understand what I'm about to do. On the front, this formula right here that I gave you for equation of a circle, center radius form, all this, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals what? r squared, right? So if I have number values for all this stuff and I can plug in, I can find out what my radius is that way too. All I need is a center, and then I need another point on the circle, x and y, which they gave me on the back. So I can basically just use this formula. This is doing Pythagorean for me right here, if y'all follow what I'm saying. This is actually doing my change in x, my change in y, and squaring the numbers, adding them together. This is doing Pythagorean for me, this formula. So I'm going to use that. It's going to be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. My bad, I did not know I wasn't showing y'all none of that. I just wrote our formula from the front onto the back right here. And then I'm gonna label and plug in h, k right there, 1 for -5. I'm gonna call this my x and my y, a point on my circle. And then I'm gonna plug in the numbers. You keep all the signs. Make sure you keep all the signs that go with your stuff. So parentheses, start out, my x was -7, and then my h was 1, so -7 minus h, which is 1 squared, plus, and then my y was -13, and that's a minus sign that goes behind that, and then k is -5, so I need a parentheses, -5, parentheses again, squared, equals r squared. This is basically us setting up Pythagorean, but we just using all the numbers. Instead of doing my counts over here, I'm gonna just do it here. So -7 minus 1 is -8. We'll get -8 squared. And then on this side, -13 basically plus 5. Because you know double negatives gives you a plus sign. -13 plus 5. It's going to give you another -8 squared equals r squared. And then we can square both of those. -8 squared is positive 64. -8 squared is positive 64 equals r squared. Add those together, you get 128 equals r squared. Take square root, take square root. If you get a decimal, keep it that way. Or if you get a long decimal. And I'm pretty sure y'all do, right? Yeah, so keep it at square root of 128. That's the other way to find your radius, by using the formula. Whichever one y'all feel more comfortable with, y'all can do. But to be able to do it without doing the formula, you gotta be good with your integers. For example, this is what kids be messing up. So my change in x on this one is from 1 to -7. If you're not paying attention, you might do 1 minus 7, or I don't know what y'all might do. And you might get -6, which is wrong. From 1 to -7 is how many spaces? 8. Because you're starting at a positive 1 and going to -7. That's 8 spaces. Now you got to make sure you tight on your integers to be able to realize that. And then the other thing, this is where kids are messing up too. -5 to -13. That'd be 8 again. Alright. You can do it that way, and it's faster, but you got to know your integers. If you don't know your integers, you need to go ahead and use this formula, plug in, do it a long way. Follow me? Alright. Then from there, we write an equation. X minus 1 squared plus y minus -5 parentheses squared equals square root of 128 squared. Sorry. Cleaning it up. X minus 1 squared plus y plus 5 squared equals 128. That's probably the hardest thing you're going to face, and it's really not that hard. Most kids, they had a lot of success last period with this. These last two are easy. I'm going to flow pretty fast because it's something y'all already kind of used to. Number 12 and 13, it says given circumference and area. So they give you a center, and then instead of giving you radius, they give you the circumference of a circle, or they give you the area. You need to work backwards, find your radius, and then write your equation. So on this first one, they gave me my center. I know that's good. Then they give me the circumference of a circle. Faith, what's the formula for circumference of a circle? C equals what? Thank you. C equals pi times diameter. I'd rather use this one, but you can use 2 pi r if you want. But C equals pi times diameter. Then from there, they told me the circumference was 6 pi. So where C is, I'm going to put 6 pi in. 6 pi equals pi times diameter. And then I'm going to solve for D. Divide by pi on both sides. It's going to cancel itself out. Cancels here and cancels here. Bring it down to 6 equals D. So if my diameter is 6, it's my radius 1. Quick math, 1, hurry up. Thank you. Radius is 3. Then after that, you're ready to write the equation. HK, radius is 3. You know I'm going to do it twice. That's just me, though. I expect y'all to do it, too. X minus, parentheses, -1, squared, plus y minus 4 squared equals 3 squared. And then it's x plus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 9. Alright, last one. We good. Well, you gotta understand, most kids don't understand that that's just the diameter. If you know for yourself that that's the diameter, yeah, you could just pull it off and do that. I'm just showing all the work, man. That's what I always do. Some kids don't even recognize that that's the diameter if they just looking at that. So I'm gonna do the work to make you recognize it. Thank you, sir. Like for this one, you don't know what this is. You think you do. What's 16 on this one? Oh, well, good. You do know. Everybody don't know that. Alright, center, -8, -11. Area is 16 pi. What's the area formula? A equals, we've been doing this forever. Thank you. Pi r squared. So 16 pi equals pi r squared. Same situation, you're just dealing with the area now. Divide by pi. Cancels. 16 equals r squared. So what does r equal? 4. Thank you. Alright. Writing the equation. Faith, you might as well finish this up. Yeah. Right. I want to go. Yeah, you good. Thank you, man. And there it is. Y'all should have a lot of success today on y'all work.